The sands of Egypt hold many secrets, whispering tales of pharaohs and empires long gone. Among these mysteries lies the enigma of the Hyksos, a foreign dynasty that once ruled over Egypt's fertile lands. Their reign, known as the Second Intermediate Period, remains shrouded in obscurity, a puzzle challenging historians and archaeologists alike. Intriguingly, whispers of the Hyksos echo through time, leading some scholars to draw connections between this enigmatic dynasty and the biblical Exodus narrative, the story of the Israelites' flight from Egypt. Could these foreign rulers, with their uncertain origins and dramatic downfall, hold the key to understanding one of history's most enduring stories? This essay delves into the heart of this historical puzzle, exploring the Hyksos' origins, their dominion over Egypt, and their speculated link to the Israelites. We will sift through archaeological evidence, analyze differing scholarly viewpoints, and navigate the complexities of ancient chronologies. Our journey takes us back millennia, to a time when empires clashed, cultures intertwined, and the seeds of both historical and biblical narratives were sown. Our quest is not merely to unearth historical facts, but to grapple with their interpretation. The Hyksos' story is not a simple one, and our understanding of their connection, if any, to the Exodus is far from conclusive. Yet, by engaging with the available evidence and acknowledging the diversity of scholarly opinions, we can begin to unravel this historical enigma. In doing so, we gain a deeper appreciation for the intricate tapestry of ancient history, where cultures collided, empires rose and fell, and the echoes of the past continue to resonate in the present. The Hyksos, once relegated to the margins of history, challenge us to reassess our understanding of ancient Egypt and its intricate relationship with the biblical narrative. Let us delve into the sands of time and see what secrets they might reveal. The very name Hyksos hints at their foreign origins, derived from the Egyptian phrase Heka Kasawet, meaning rulers of foreign lands. But who were these outsiders who managed to seize control of the Egyptian throne? While their precise origins remain debated, evidence points toward a West Asian background, possibly from the Levant, a region encompassing present-day Syria, Lebanon, Israel, and Palestine. These people, likely a mix of ethnicities and cultures, gradually infiltrated the Nile Delta region during the late 17th century BCE, a period of instability and internal strife within Egypt. The reasons behind the Hyksos rise are complex and multifaceted. Some scholars point to a gradual infiltration and assimilation process, with the Hyksos integrating themselves into Egyptian society before eventually seizing power. Others suggest a more rapid takeover, possibly aided by internal weaknesses within the Egyptian state. Regardless of the precise circumstances, the Hyksos demonstrated military prowess and strategic acumen, utilizing advanced weaponry, including horse-drawn chariots, a relatively new technology in Egypt at the time. Their military advantage, coupled with the fragmented political landscape of Egypt, allowed the Hyksos to establish their dominion over Lower Egypt, with their capital at Avaris, strategically located in the eastern delta. The pharaohs of the 13th and 14th dynasties, ruling from Upper Egypt, proved unable to dislodge these foreign rulers, marking the beginning of the Second Intermediate Period, a time of division and foreign rule within Egypt. The Hyksos' rise to power was not a complete rupture with Egyptian tradition. While they maintained their distinct cultural practices and religious beliefs, they also adopted elements of Egyptian culture, including royal titles, administrative systems, and even Egyptian deities. This blending of cultures, evident in art and architecture from the period, highlights the Hyksos' pragmatic approach to governance, seeking to legitimize their rule and maintain order within their newly acquired kingdom. The Hyksos' reign in Egypt, spanning roughly a century, c. 1650 to 1550 BCE, presents a fascinating paradox. While they were foreign rulers, they were not merely conquerors who imposed their will through brute force. Instead, they adopted a more nuanced approach, integrating themselves into the existing power structures and adopting elements of Egyptian culture. This strategy allowed them to maintain control over Lower Egypt for several generations. The Hyksos rulers adopted Egyptian royal titles, including the prestigious title of pharaoh, demonstrating their desire to be seen as legitimate rulers within the Egyptian context. They also continued many Egyptian administrative practices, maintaining existing tax systems and bureaucratic structures. This pragmatic approach suggests a desire for stability and continuity, recognizing that alienating the Egyptian populace would be detrimental to their rule. However, the Hyksos also maintained their distinct cultural identity, evident in their religious practices, burial customs, and artistic styles. They introduced new deities into the Egyptian pantheon, such as the storm god Seth, who became associated with the Hyksos rulers. Their burial practices differed from traditional Egyptian customs, with evidence of horse burials and the use of shaft tombs, reflecting their West Asian origins. This blending of cultures, a hallmark of Hyksos rule, is evident in the archaeological record. Excavations at Avaris, their capital city, have unearthed a wealth of artifacts reflecting this cultural fusion. Pottery shards display a blend of Egyptian and West Asian styles, while scarabs and other amulets bear the names of both Egyptian and foreign deities. This material culture provides tangible evidence of the Hyksos' impact on Egyptian society and the complex cultural exchange that characterized their rule. The Hyksos reign in Egypt eventually came to an end, overthrown by a resurgent Upper Egyptian kingdom led by the Theban rulers Ahmose I and his successors. This period of reconquest, marked by fierce battles and political intrigue, witnessed the expulsion of the Hyksos from Egypt and the reunification of the kingdom under the new kingdom pharaohs. The expulsion of the Hyksos, a defining moment in Egyptian history, marked the end of the Second Intermediate Period and ushered in a new era of Egyptian power and prosperity. The circumstances surrounding the Hyksos expulsion, while documented in Egyptian texts and monuments, remain somewhat obscure. Egyptian sources, eager to emphasize the legitimacy of the newly established 18th dynasty, often depict the Hyksos as oppressive foreign rulers who were rightfully driven out of Egypt. However, these accounts, often infused with propaganda and nationalistic sentiments, need to be approached with caution. The expulsion of the Hyksos, with its themes of foreign rule and liberation, has sparked debate among historians regarding its possible connection to the biblical Exodus narrative. Could the Hyksos, with their West Asian origins and eventual expulsion from Egypt, be the pharaohs mentioned in the Bible? This tantalizing question has fueled much speculation and debate, leading some scholars to identify the Hyksos period as the historical backdrop for the Exodus story. While the parallels are intriguing, it's crucial to approach such claims with scholarly rigor, separating historical evidence from biblical interpretation. The biblical Exodus, while potentially rooted in historical events, is ultimately a theological narrative, primarily concerned with the relationship between God and the Israelites. Therefore, attempting to force a precise historical fit between the Hyksos and the Exodus might oversimplify the complexities of both narratives. The potential link between the Hyksos and the Israelites has captivated historians and biblical scholars for centuries. Could these foreign rulers, with their West Asian roots and dramatic expulsion from Egypt, be the very pharaohs who oppressed the Israelites, setting the stage for the Exodus? The theory, while enticing, rests on a foundation of speculation and circumstantial evidence, lacking definitive proof. Proponents of this link point to several intriguing parallels. Both the Hyksos and the Israelites originated in the Levant, sharing cultural and linguistic ties. The biblical narrative places the Israelites in Egypt during a period of foreign rule, coinciding with the Hyksos period. Moreover, the Hyksos expulsion from Egypt, a tumultuous event marked by conflict and displacement, seems to resonate with the Exodus narrative. However, several critical issues cast doubt on a direct historical link. The biblical chronology of the Exodus, placing the event in the 13th century BCE, clashes with the generally accepted time frame of the Hyksos' rule, which ended around 1550 BCE. Furthermore, while both groups originated in the Levant, their specific cultural and linguistic markers differ, suggesting distinct identities. Adding to the complexity, Egyptian sources make no mention of a mass exodus of people resembling the biblical Israelites during the Hyksos period. While the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, it highlights the speculative nature of directly equating the Hyksos with the pharaohs of the Exodus. Despite the lack of conclusive proof, the debate surrounding the Hyksos and their potential connection to the Israelites underscores the intricate relationship between history and memory. The Exodus, regardless of its historical veracity, has profoundly impacted Jewish identity and theology. Exploring its potential connections to the Hyksos, even if speculative, enriches our understanding of the ancient world and the enduring power of such narratives. Archaeology, with its ability to unearth the physical remnants of bygone eras, plays a vital role in illuminating the Hyksos period and its potential connections to the biblical Exodus. While excavations have yet to uncover a smoking gun proving or disproving the link, they have shed light on the cultural exchange and societal transformations that characterized this era. Excavations at Avaris, the Hyksos capital, have yielded a treasure trove of artifacts attesting to their unique cultural blend. Pottery shards, intricately decorated with motifs blending Egyptian and West Asian styles, illustrate the fusion of artistic traditions. Bronzes, weapons, and tools, bearing both Egyptian and foreign designs, highlight the technological exchange occurring during this period. Interestingly, some archaeological finds hint at West Asian cultural influences in Egypt predating the Hyksos period. This suggests a more gradual process of cultural interaction and migration, rather than a sudden invasion. For instance, the presence of West Asian pottery styles in Egypt before the Hyksos period suggests ongoing trade and cultural exchange between these regions. However, despite these intriguing finds, no archaeological evidence directly links the Hyksos to the Israelites or supports the biblical narrative of a mass exodus. Excavations in Egypt have yet to uncover any settlements or artifacts definitively attributed to the Israelites during the Hyksos period or any other era. This absence of material evidence, while not conclusive, adds another layer of complexity to the debate. While archaeology alone cannot provide definitive answers to historical mysteries, it offers valuable insights into the material culture and social dynamics of the past. By carefully analyzing the artifacts, structures, and landscapes left behind, archaeologists can reconstruct past environments, trace cultural connections, and provide a more nuanced understanding of historical events. In the case of the Hyksos and the Exodus, archaeology continues to provide valuable pieces to the puzzle, even if a complete picture remains elusive. Understanding the Hyksos and their potential connection to the Exodus requires broadening our lens beyond Egypt to encompass the wider socio-political landscape of the ancient Near East, particularly the Levant. This region, a crossroads of trade routes and empires, witnessed significant upheaval during the Late Bronze Age, around 1600 to 1200 BCE, with implications for both Egypt and the biblical narrative. During this period, the Levant was caught in a power struggle between the Egyptian New Kingdom, eager to expand its influence northward, and the Hittite Empire, a rising power in Anatolia, modern-day Turkey. This geopolitical tug-of-war created a volatile environment, with smaller kingdoms in the Levant, including those in Canaan, caught in the crossfire. The Amarna letters, a collection of diplomatic correspondence discovered in Egypt, provide a fascinating glimpse into the political intrigue and instability of this era. These letters, exchanged between the Egyptian pharaohs and their vassals in Canaan, reveal a region plagued by rebellions, invasions, and shifting alliances. This turbulent backdrop is crucial for understanding the broader historical context of the Exodus, if we are to consider it a historical event. The instability in the Levant, coupled with Egypt's imperial ambitions in the region, could have created conditions conducive to migrations, displacement, and the emergence of new social identities. Moreover, the cultural and linguistic ties between the Hyksos, the Israelites, and other groups in the Levant suggest a complex web of interactions and migrations during this period. The movement of people, ideas, and goods across these regions likely contributed to the cultural dynamism and political volatility that characterized the Late Bronze Age. One of the most significant challenges in exploring the potential link between the Hyksos and the Exodus lies in reconciling the biblical chronology with the established historical timeline. The Bible, while offering a narrative framework for understanding the Israelites' origins and early history, does not provide a precise date for the Exodus. Traditional interpretations, based on biblical genealogies, place the event around the 13th century BCE during the reign of Ramesses II. However, this chronology clashes with the generally accepted timeline of the Hyksos period, which ended in Egypt around 1550 BCE, 2 centuries earlier. This discrepancy poses a significant hurdle for those seeking to establish a direct historical link between the Hyksos and the Exodus pharaohs. Some scholars have attempted to bridge this chronological gap by proposing alternative interpretations of both biblical and Egyptian timelines. They suggest that the biblical genealogies may be incomplete or symbolic, not intended to be taken literally. Others propose revising the established Egyptian chronology, suggesting that certain dynasties may have overlapped or been shorter than currently believed. However, such reinterpretations remain highly debated within scholarly circles, often relying on speculation and lacking conclusive evidence. Mainstream Egyptology, based on extensive archaeological and textual analysis, generally maintains the established chronology, placing the Hyksos period firmly in the 17th and 16th centuries BCE. The challenge of reconciling biblical and historical chronologies highlights the complexities inherent in studying ancient history. Written sources, often fragmentary and open to interpretation, must be carefully analyzed alongside archaeological evidence, which can be equally challenging to interpret. The debate surrounding the Exodus and its potential connection to the Hyksos underscores the importance of approaching such questions with scholarly rigor, acknowledging both the potential and the limitations of our current understanding. The debate surrounding the Hyksos and their potential connection to the biblical Exodus is far from settled, with differing perspectives emerging from various fields, including archaeology, biblical studies, and ancient history. This diversity of opinion reflects the complexities of interpreting ancient evidence and the challenges of reconstructing the past from fragmentary and often ambiguous sources. Some scholars, particularly those focusing on biblical studies, maintain that the Hyksos period offers the most plausible historical context for the Exodus. They point to the shared Levantine origins of the Hyksos and the Israelites, the timing of the Hyksos expulsion from Egypt, and the resonance between the Hyksos story and the Exodus narrative. Other scholars, primarily archaeologists and Egyptologists, remain skeptical of a direct historical link. They cite the chronological discrepancies, the lack of archaeological evidence supporting a mass exodus during the Hyksos period, and the absence of any mention of the Israelites in Egyptian sources from that era. A third group of scholars proposes a more nuanced approach, acknowledging the lack of definitive proof for a direct connection while remaining open to the possibility that the Hyksos period may have indirectly influenced the development of the Exodus narrative. They suggest that the memory of the Hyksos as foreign rulers who were eventually expelled from Egypt could have served as a template or inspiration for later storytellers shaping the Exodus tradition. This diversity of opinions highlights the importance of engaging with multiple perspectives when studying ancient history. No single discipline holds a monopoly on truth, and each field brings its own methodologies, biases, and limitations. By considering various viewpoints and critically evaluating the evidence, we can develop a more comprehensive, albeit still incomplete, understanding of the past. The enigma of the Hyksos continues to captivate historians, archaeologists, and biblical scholars alike. Their rise and fall, their cultural fusion within Egypt, and their speculated connection to the Exodus narrative present a compelling historical puzzle with no easy solutions. While the debate surrounding their precise role in shaping the ancient Near East and their potential connection to the biblical narrative continues, we can draw some tentative conclusions. The Hyksos, far from being mere conquerors, left an indelible mark on Egypt, demonstrating a remarkable ability to adapt to and integrate into a foreign culture while maintaining their distinct identity. Their reign, though relatively short-lived, had a lasting impact on Egyptian society, introducing new technologies, religious ideas, and artistic motifs that influenced subsequent periods. The question of their relationship to the Exodus remains a subject of intense debate. While circumstantial evidence and intriguing parallels exist, a lack of conclusive proof prevents us from definitively equating the Hyksos with the pharaohs of the Exodus. The chronological discrepancies, the absence of archaeological corroboration, and the silence of Egyptian sources regarding a mass exodus during their reign cast doubt on a direct historical link. However, the lack of definitive proof does not negate the value of exploring this historical puzzle. The Hyksos period, with its themes of foreign rule, cultural exchange, and expulsion, offers a valuable lens through which to view the complexities of the ancient Near East and the development of the biblical narrative. The Exodus, regardless of its historical veracity, reflects the enduring power of collective memory and the human struggle for freedom and identity. The Hyksos, once relegated to the margins of history, have emerged as crucial players in our understanding of the ancient world. Their story challenges us to re-examine our assumptions about ancient Egypt, the complexities of cultural interaction, and the enduring power of the past to shape the present. While the enigma of the Hyksos may never be fully unraveled, our continued exploration of their story enriches our understanding of history, reminding us that the past is rarely simple and often reveals its secrets in whispers and fragments.